Ready?
Yeah.
I'm asking you to introducing head coach Tremaine Jackson. Coach, opening statement.
Yeah, I think almost every home game we've had has had some kind of delay or something with the weather. It's been kind of crazy. Really proud of our guys for being able to deal with that. I think we were delayed almost an hour or something like that. But it was certainly we did what we expected to do. We expected to win the game. We expected to win the game fairly big. I think we played today about 2 quarters of football all together for the game. So to score 38 points, to have 423 yards of offense, defensively to not allow a conversion on third down. Those are some things that normally don't happen, but we were able to play a lot of guys. A lot of our young kids played a lot in that fourth quarter, and I just think we're going to need those guys at some point. So getting them some game reps, something to coach them off of was good. So always good to win. I think we're, 6-2 now? And so we've eclipsed last year's win total, tied the win total for a couple of years ago. That's something we wanted to do. That was big for us, and we look forward to plugging along.
Oh, go ahead.
It's homecoming today. Coach, you talked about the importance of having the crowd here this weekend. What did you think of the crowd and them staying through that rain delay and still supporting the guys?
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. So shout out to them for doing that. That's what college championship football programs, that's what their fans look like. That's what athletic departments that are on the rise like we are, that's what they look like. And so I think it was 11,000 there. I know we sold a little bit more than that ticket-wise. So I think the messaging worked. AD Golf and I got together. We plotted that. They just don't know that. We got that done. But that's what we're supposed to do here at Prairie View A&M. You look at the RVs and all that stuff out there, man, I can't wait to get out there and take a shower and go out there with them now that we've taken care of business. But we are pleased. For us to come out of that rain delay, that's a big deal. It reminds me of being in other places, in other venues, in major college football. And I know we can do that here. We look forward to continue to do it.
Kenneth Richardson, Panther Sports on KPVU-TV, Coach. You spoke earlier this week in our interview that I had with you on the radio station about how the defense is just doing immaculate. I mean, they played well today, obviously forcing 2 fumbles and getting both of those fumbles back. But they did have a little bit of problems on the defensive side with penalties. I think we had 8 penalties for 80 yards. That was very detrimental where we were close to scoring at the end of the game, putting just a little bit more points on the board for the fans to see. How do you feel like the defense play was overall today?
Yeah, the defense they got 2 penalties on the day, and it really didn't hurt us. They were able to recover. Offensively is where we struggled with penalties. Overall, defensively, I thought we gave up a big pass. We probably shouldn't have. Guy just was flipped the wrong way. But you got to give people with athletes credit, right? They got athletes too. They might not have been able to put it together from a record standpoint, but they got some guys over there that look pretty good. That we trying to wonder where they got them from. You know what I mean? But you know, defensively, those guys work in a manner all week to play big, and that's why I think they're number 1 in the SWAC. Which that's not our goal. Our goal is just to play the best that day to win, right? And so we got a really big showdown coming up next week here against the best offense in the SWAC, and so our mettle is certainly going to be tested here in a week.
Khalid Gray, KPVU-TV, Panther Sports Zone. In the meeting that we had, or the interview we had on the radio with my co-host earlier this week, you mentioned that this is going to be a game where you can throw something different out there offensively. What offensively today did you feel like you were able to, I guess, experiment with against this team?
We threw the ball a little bit more. You know, we wanted to work on some things in the passing game that Cam and Tevin needed to be better at. And so we were able to game plan that. There were some situations. I thought we could have ran the ball up and down the field all night. What we need to be able to do as a program is work situational football, work some things that we know we're going to need for later on once it got to that point. You know, it's our job as coaches to prepare these guys for what we know lies ahead, but they can't see right now, right? And so I thought we did that for the most part in the passing game, some formational things that we hadn't done to try to increase getting completions and getting the ball in athletes' hands so that they can get vertical.
Coach, you mentioned eclipsing last year's record. I know that obviously your sights are set on bigger things, but do you stop at any point and think like, hey, you know, the message that I'm preaching to these guys, it is working. It is, you know, adding up in the win column.
Yeah, it's like getting a cup of coffee in the morning, man, on the way to work. You get the coffee, and then you go to work, right? So you think about it, but then you keep going to work. These guys have adhered to the way we do things, right? It's special in a way, but you don't really have time to stop and congratulate them because we tell our guys all the time, we're not going to know what we are until the very end. I think when you stop and start congratulating yourself on the way, you never get to the ultimate goal that you're trying to get to. But no doubt, we appreciate the way that they come to work. Man, sometimes on Tuesday, I don't know. I just don't know about them. And Wednesday, I still don't know, right? But these guys come out and they play at a high level. Man, we do some things in meetings that kind of let me know where we are. And we've had to try to judge this collective. How does this team move? And so I think we got it down a little bit more now. But I am proud of them in the way that they come to work every day. And winning 6 games, which was more than we won a year ago, and has tied what we won the last couple of years, was a big deal in our program to keep moving our program forward. Now we have a chance to win number 7. So we'll put all our thoughts and our focus on winning number 7, and so on and so on. And so these guys, they've done a good job, and as always, man, I've been proud to be their coach.
Coach, in preparation for Alabama State, you said they have great offense.
Mm-hmm.
What does your defense need to do to prepare?
Well, we got to tackle well. We got to take care of this quarterback situation. They got the best quarterback in the league. It ain't no secret. He's been healthy. He's had a really good year so far. We got to have a great plan for him. I know Coach Anderson and his staff will. But we got to continue to be us, which is running around to the football, hitting people at a high level, creating turnovers. We got to take the football away and give our offense more opportunities because they certainly try to maximize theirs.
Kyle Moser with ESPN. Not to take anything away from the performance, but they had 28 guys in uniform, 6 offensive linemen, 1 quarterback. How unusual is this type of game to play against a team with numbers like that? Yeah,
if you walk out there and you say you can play, not my issue. I mean, you got it. If you walk out there, everybody signs the waiver in August to come out here and play ball. So if you walk out there and you sign that waiver, that ain't my problem. My issue is to make sure we perform at the level we need to perform, whether it's for 2 quarters, whether it's for full 60 minutes, whatever we need to do. I don't go around coaching other folks' people. Man, it's homecoming here. They said they could play, so we played. And so we really don't put a lot of stock into that. Man, I know Coach is trying to get it together over there. And so I'm quite sure in the future he'll get it together. I just wanted to make sure they didn't get it together today.
Coach, you spoke on how Bama State, they have the best quarterback, obviously, in the SWAC right now. The numbers don't lie what we are looking at. You spoke on what the defense has to do. What does the offense, what do we have to see from the offense? Obviously, we've seen the rushing game be amazing for this past entire season. But the passing game has obviously grown to grow, even be better, especially what we've seen today. Seeing Cam go 11 for 18, that was just an amazing sight to see. What does the offense have to do, especially coming into next week, for a packed home game and basically the second homecoming?
Yeah, we gotta continue to get better offensively, score points, score as many points as we can. We gotta protect the football, which we've done a pretty decent job of that so far this year. So hopefully that continues. And then we gotta get in the rhythm on offense so that we can do some things differently than what we did in our other SWAC games, right? I don't know if 24 points will do it next week. And so we gotta make sure we're scoring against people on our level. That play how we play, right? And so far in the SWAC, they've done a pretty good job, but we play some people with some down offenses, to be quite honest. So we got to get ready to play up and play at a high level, which I think our kids will be more than ready to answer the bell.
Coach, I'm curious, Mark Fader-Ruada with ESPN also. I'm curious, the decision after the break, were you part of the discussion about what to do next and this idea that they had flights to catch? What was that like for you, and how did you sort of perceive the whole deal?
Yeah, man, I'm from small college football, right? So I get it. I get when you have to be somewhere and you can't move things back and clocks have to be adjusted. I was in agreement. I just wanted to finish the game. We needed to get more reps as a football program. So however we needed to get the rest of the reps and finish the game, that's certainly what I wanted to do. And I want the game to count, to be quite honest. I want the game to count so we can win. We need wins. When we're recruiting at a high level, people don't understand postpone because of weather and your record stay at 5-2. We need wins. And so whatever we needed to do, he wanted to get the reps, coach wanted to get the reps, and our AD formed a plan, and we got that done.
Any other questions?
All right, appreciate you guys going homecoming.